Bom dia, mundo. We've woken up to a very wet and rainy Portugal today, but it's not cold. That's a bonus. I've just been looking out the window, watching the waterfall, checking on the progress of the leek I've been growing, concentrating on the little droplets, trying to make the most of a bad day, weather-wise anyway. It's always quite challenging making daily videos about real life when you're not allowed to go out much because of the rain, but I enjoy that challenge. It helps you to really focus on what's really out there and look at the details of your surroundings. And there is something beautiful about watching the rain. We were saying to Granny Sue today, the whole time we've been here, probably only had 4 or 5 days of rain like this. So our timing wasn't great. But we're making the most of just being at home, just being a family, spending time with baby Story, and feeling the new connection with this new family member who's come into our lives. We're sitting indoors for now, staying cosy, to make the most of the time that we have together. Last night I took full control over Story feeding and nappy changing and everything. So for the first time in weeks, Sasha got a full night's sleep, and surprisingly, Story got a really, really good sleep too. She's been waking up every hour or every hour and a half, just kind of begging for food and making a lot of noise, making really, really shrieking cries over the last 2 days or so. But since we've switched her to the bottle so that we can see how much food she's actually getting, she's slept through. So there was definitely a flow issue with breastfeeding that we couldn't work out and the nurses couldn't work out. Sasha can explain that in more detail later, but I can report that Story is taken to the formula with minimal issues. So we're quite happy with that, but we are going to do some more research into a different product, I think, something a little bit more suitable, because we just bought whatever we could for a newborn off the shelf because that was all that was available here. I know that there's a lot more available online, so that's something we've got to research now. Later today, I think we're going to head off to the shopping centre, the Forum in Coimbra, to do a little bit of gift shopping for friends and family at home. And if the rain dies down a little bit more, I might drive back into town, because there's a really nice little gift shop in the Santa Cruz Square by the cathedral, by the church, which is perfect. It has like cheeses and chutneys and port, all kinds of cool things. So make the most of the day, even though it is raining. Coimbra's only 35 minutes drive. There's a little baby.
It's so big, look.
And she'll grow into it. I've got your milk, Story. Nice and warm. Ready for your feed?
Oh, look, they just fall off now. You can't wear them,
Yeah.
can you?
She needs to grow.
She had the pink ones on yesterday. Were they that big?
Yeah, but they were on top of the baby grow, so they stayed on. I've come to see what the commotion is, Mum.
Right, what can we
And I
wear
brought my
then?
dentist stick. Bye. Through Dad's legs.
Hello everyone. I'm sitting on the sofa in my usual spot now with baby Story in my arms. She's lovely and cosy in her blanket. I'm no longer breastfeeding Story. She's just had a feed, so she's nice and full as well, and Story just seemed very unsettled and was very demanding and waking up every hour wanting a feed. I spent about 20 minutes each feed, like massaging and trying to coax out some milk, and nothing really happened. There wasn't a lot going on, so she was left screaming because she was waiting for her food, and I was getting stressed out because I couldn't get any out. She's 2 weeks old now, and she must have been getting some nourishment from me, but I don't think it was enough. And after her last checkup at the doctor's, and they said she's lost weight again, we just decided that being able to see what she's actually feeding and drinking is so much more beneficial than just guessing and just letting her suck for half an hour when she might not even be drinking anything. After I made the decision yesterday to stop, I did feel guilty. I felt quite sad about it. I had tears in my eyes. But as my mum and Jay have both said, it's nothing to do with me, or it's not a failure on my part. But as Story's mummy, I did feel like I'd failed her a little bit, that I couldn't supply her with enough food, and I felt like I was starving my child a little bit. But now seeing her with the bottle and being able to see how much she's drinking, I feel so much more reassured and happier. And I found the whole breastfeeding very stressful. In my breastfeeding book, there is a whole section on how different and more difficult it is to breastfeed after an emergency C-section. And I just think my body possibly had too much going on trying to heal, and didn't get into the flow as it would have done if I'd have gone through a normal natural labour and birth. So I think I had a few things stacked against me already, and I just don't feel like I was able to provide her with what she was needing. So we have switched to formula and bottles, and she took it first time straight away. She's drinking about 1.5 ounces at the moment each feed, and she goes 4 hours between a feed now, so it's a lot less demanding on us, and she seems more settled and happier. So I think it was the right decision in the end for everyone. And hopefully next time we go to the doctors, she will have put on weight and not lost it. So that's the aim for next week. Jay and I were actually very prepared for every scenario in this situation, and we actually have an electric steriliser for the bottles, a bottle warmer, and a whole kit of bottles, and the insulated carry bags take out when you're going out for the day or something. So we actually had all that we needed to begin bottle feeding, apart from the formula, which we bought yesterday. And we now have a big tub of that, so I'm glad that we did, because in our local supermarket they don't sell anything like that. Little lady has woken up for a feed. She's making a sucking motion with her mouth. So we're going to warm up a bottle now and feed her. It is a really miserable day today. It's rained pretty much all day, and we were going to go into Queenborough because I wanted to get some Christmas presents for my mum to take back, but the shop I wanted to go to is actually shut today, so we're going to do that tomorrow instead. About to warm up some pastel de natas and make a cup of tea. And of course, another benefit to stopping the breastfeeding is that Jay can now do feeds and do some daddy feeds with the bottle, so they get some bonding time, which is nice.
Look at you. You got all the expressions now, haven't you? You like the fire? Is it nice? All those months we were wondering what you were going to look like, and now here you are. Here's your little face. Punch! Lots of you viewers have been watching, and you've been commenting on Instagram saying that she looks like me, but we can't see it. We can't see her looking anything like, not anything like, but not too much like me or Sasha at the moment. I think she needs some time to develop her face a little bit. Although, if you look at her cheeks and her chin, she's got a bit of a Sasha shape there. So much developing to do, eh? You pretty thing. So the rainy day has come to an end. Sasha is doing some editing to finish off tomorrow's vlog. I'm doing some work on my friend Johnny's cooking channel for him. And Eden is just resting on the sofa. Story's in bed. Sue's in bed. And tomorrow we're going to try and resume plans. Hopefully it won't be too rainy. Hit the thumbs up button today if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you on the next vlog. Bye.
Lion. Little Sasha.